What is going on, friends? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today we have an exciting one for you. There is a new project car on the channel. We have managed to find the cheapest F82 M4 that was being sold in the country for $23,000.
Yeah, listen, we fucked up.
You might think that we are out of our minds for buying the cheapest F82 on the market, but just wait until you see what we are going to do to this car. It all makes perfect sense in the end. So here it is, you guys. This is our 2015 F82 M4 in mineral gray. From here, it looks amazing. But just wait until we get up close. I'm going to show you guys everything that is wrong with this car. We're going to talk about the plans for the car and what you can expect to see from us going through the build process with this F82. I can promise you right now, it is going to be entertaining and a ton of fun. If you guys haven't figured it out by now, I have been working with CES Motorsport for the last couple of years, not only as a partnership on my personal channel, but I've also joined forces with these guys, and I am now handling all of their marketing, their product development, some of their e-commerce, their YouTube channel, their Instagram, kind of wearing a bunch of different hats in the company, even getting into some of the tech work and working on some of those cars. It's been a ton of fun. We decided that we would like to emulate what I do on my personal channel, which is take some cars that need a new life, some love, and modify them to our liking. If you guys saw what I did with the 135, turned it into the 1M clone, single turbo, that car really came from nothing and became something, and that is going to be the exact path that we take with a car like this. So this is going to be an introduction to the F82 M4 being built by yours truly in partnership with CES Motorsport, and it is going to be a ton of fun. If you guys have not already, make sure you subscribe to the CES Motorsport YouTube channel. There's going to be a lot of videos on this car on that channel, as well as my personal channel. But you're definitely going to want to make sure that you're subscribed to both to make sure that you do not miss anything. But let's take a look at the M4. I'm going to show you guys the condition that comes along with purchasing the cheapest M4 in the country at this time, and then we will also discuss the plan. All right, guys, so starting with the obvious 2015 F82 M4, optioned in the mineral gray. Most people are not a fan of this color. However, over the past year, this color, in my opinion, has really grown on me. I just think it looks incredible. It's a gray with a hint of blue, black and silver metallic flakes in it. It's just a gorgeous color. I think this and Alpine White are probably the most common colors that you see in the F8X generation. You'll also notice that we have the 437M wheels. Lots of people love the 437M wheels because they can be used on a bunch of different cars like the F33 series and of course the F8X models. These wheels came on this car, so these are the factory wheels. It was optioned with the blue calipers all the way around, and there are some modifications already on the car. As you can tell, the car is sitting pretty low. It is on EMD springs. Now, as I'm going through all of these modifications, you guys, and everything that's already on the car, this is all going to be changing. We are not keeping any of this stuff. To be quite honest with you, the majority of the modifications that are already on this car are pretty cheap and just really not to the level or standard that we like to produce here on this channel. So we are going to be upgrading literally everything on this car. So rolling around to the front, obviously you have the original headlights that are on this car. We are going to be upgrading these to the icons. They just look much better. Let's take a look at some of the not so great things. You'll see that there's a lot of damaged areas to the front bumper. It has seen better days. This car has about 120,000 miles on it. It is a 2015, so that is the first year that they made the F80, F82, and this was definitely a driver car, man. It didn't sit in the garage, and you can tell there's nothing wrong with that. We aren't really worried about that. We're going to be changing so much stuff on this car that it really doesn't matter. So she has seen better days for sure, but that's okay. We like a good challenge. You'll also notice that it does have a carbon fiber roof. Again, the roof has seen better days. There are a ton of F8X cars coming to the market now that have chipping and peeling in the carbon fiber roof. Kind of like what happened with a lot of the E9X cars. You're just starting to see more and more of them with roofs that need to be re-cleared and reconditioned. This has the Silverstone interior. Pretty nice. However, high mileage, early model car, car, lots of wear. The seats are in rough condition. I do like this color when it looks good, but man, when it looks rough like this, it doesn't look the greatest. This is a DCT car, obviously, judging by the gear selector there. It has the carbon fiber trim all over it. We wanted to go for a DCT car. We didn't want to do manual for this one, and we'll explain that a little bit later to you guys. Car also has carbon fiber side skirt extensions. Those will either get removed or replaced. The interior, we definitely are going to be doing some things to this interior. We're going to be doing some reconditioning. We're going to be doing some different seats, different steering wheel, changing everything up, making this look as new as possible. It's really all about giving these cars an entirely new life, and that's the challenge that we took on with this one. Rolling around to the back end, obviously you have the 2015 pre-LCI taillights. That will be changing. The trunk, this car did used to have a wing on it, and the bodywork to cover up the holes, really not that great. So we're going to be doing something with the trunk as well. It might look like the car has an exhaust on it because it has these aftermarket tips. However, it does not have an exhaust on it. Does have catless downpipes on it. The car is full bolt on, and it does have the equal length mid pipe on it. However, the rear section is factory. We will go ahead and change that as well, obviously. But yeah, you can tell, man, this thing has seen better days. In general, I give the paint probably a 6 out of 10. There are some places that could use some help. There are some places that are actually in pretty good condition. It's definitely not perfect, but again, you guys, we actually paid $23,000 for this M4. And I would like to mention that this is a clean title 2015 M4 for $23,000. Now you might be saying, well, I could definitely find one for cheaper. I just did a quick search online, went to Auto Trader, went to some of the other places where people shop for cars, and I did not find anything lower than $23,000 when we bought this car. It is entirely possible that you have dug deeper than me and found one. But for the research that I have done, this seems to be the cheapest M4 in the country right now that we have just purchased. I really think that these cars are such a bargain. So many of them are coming down in value. I've made a few videos about this. The S55 power plant, fantastic motor. They have been out long enough that we know the things that need to be addressed on these motors, and overall you are getting so much car for the value with the current prices on these cars. I have to say though, this mineral gray has really grown on me. I think it's just going to look so beautiful when we are done with it. Really nothing that you guys see on this car right now is staying except for the paint code. Everything else is going to be changing. Let's take a look under the hood. So we do have a full bolt-on S55 here. It does have intakes, it does have charge pipes, it does have the charge cooler upgrade, but nothing else has really been done to this car. Hendel actually did replace the turbos on this car about 30 or 40,000 miles ago, but that really doesn't matter to us, and we will explain why here in a minute. This car is also on the factory crank hub. Now we can go into some of the maintenance items that we need to address on this car.
So it looks like we bought probably one of the cheapest, or if not the cheapest M4 in the country. It looks like it's got a massive oil leak.
Just starting off.
It is smoking when we drive it. I'm not sure if it's turbo related or possibly valve cover PCV issue going on. Can't really tell exactly where this leak is coming from. It almost looked like it's coming from the oil tensioner. Maybe that crush washer is bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of oil on the bottom side of the turbo that's probably coming from
the head.
Yep, from the head.
Down.
Valve cover was leaking from up top.
Looks like maybe possible oil pan.
Oil pan. It obviously has this China equal length mid pipe. It's got down pipes on it.
Alibaba mid pipe.
Yep.
Transmission pan's actually not leaking. No idea if it's been serviced before, but we're gonna go ahead and do that. So we're gonna pretty much address all the leaks with the crank hub. The only thing we don't address with the crank hub is the rear main seal, just because we're not pulling the transmission when we do a crank hub.
Right.
But we do pull the oil pan off, and then we'll be pulling the valve cover off, front main seals, all the vacuum pump seals, and access plate covers that are up in the front.
Yeah.
Not sure if you can get a
It's gonna be difficult, but
idea of that. So all that gets removed. It also is leaking from the oil filter housing gasket.
Yeah, the oil filter housing gasket's also leaking. I pointed that out before.
We'll address that with the crank hub as well. Pull the intake manifold off and do all new gaskets there as well. So that will fix all our oil leaks. Throw a new valve cover on as well. Hopefully that fixes the PCV issue with all the smoking that's going on. If it still smokes, then it's possible it's the turbos. We'll have to pull the downpipes off and then just check to see if oil is coming out of one of the turbos. We'll probably do motor mounts just because it's high mileage. It's a 100K mile car. Anything over 100K, you're gonna have worn motor mounts. So this motor mount actually looks like it's been replaced. This one, it's hard to tell, but I don't think it's been replaced. Because it looks dirty, yeah. We drove it around a little bit. It's definitely worn out. The struts are blown. It's got EMD lowering springs on it. The tires look good. Front tires look good. They are on backwards. We did notice that when we drove the car and looked at it. Brakes and rotors look all right. He's probably replaced them before. If we walk back here, another common issue with the F8X platform is the diff bushings. So this diff bushing here will crack and you'll get a lot of clunk in the rear end. Basically, yeah, so we'll replace the rear diff bushing with PowerFlex poly diff bushing. And if you're a track car, we'll do a solid like mount. We'll also replace the front diff bushings here. Another common F8X issue. So that comes with the kit. Usually we always recommend adding the dual mount setup. So we'll add a secondary mount for the diff. So it's got two bushings in the rear. We'll also reseal the diff, do a new gasket, a new front pinion seal, common issue with the F8X platform. This one doesn't look to be leaking. Probably been done before. Usually we see these go out around like 60, 70K miles. Control arms, probably replace them. This just depends what we're gonna do with the car. This one definitely looks worn out. You can really tell. This is the tow arm. You can really tell that rubber is just really bad.
Yeah.
His rear tires are worn out. Springs and struts.
Both are probably going to get replaced.
Yeah, we'll probably do end links, depending what coil setup or what we do with the car.
In other words, we have our work cut out for us when it comes to maintenance, and that is exactly what we are going to be taking care of first on this car. There's a lot of stuff to address, but again, it is a high mileage F82 and we only paid 23 grand for it, so we kind of expected that. If you guys watched when I went through the 1 Series and had the motor out of the car, I refreshed literally everything. And that is the ticket to having a car that you can throw modifications on and just drive the piss out of it without having to continually babysit. Maintenance first and then jump into your modifications. Now the real special part about this F82 build is that we are going to be single turboing this car with a custom CES single turbo kit. We are going to be launching this kit with this car. I'm going to let John at CES Motorsport explain.
So guys, this is the single turbo kit that we have in development for the S55 motor, F80X chassis, the M3, M4s. Obviously the immediate thing you can see is that it is a full billet manifold. This is a twin scroll bottom mount kit. We're going to have a couple different designs of this kit. This one is full stainless. Those of you who want the most durable and most expensive manifold, you're looking at it right here. This kit has been in development for probably over a year right now. We had a prototype that we had done about a year ago. Needed to make some adjustments and revisions to the fitment of it. You can also see the turbo. We're obviously Garrett lovers, so we're going with the Garrett kits for these. This is the G40 1150 turbo. This is also twin scroll T4 1.06 exhaust housing. So it's the biggest housing and obviously want it to maximize the flow. This turbo kit is rated at 1150 horsepower. What we want to do and accomplish with this kit is offer another bottom mount twin scroll option similar to the other kits that we've done in the past. Most of you guys know us as billet kit guys for the E36 world and also the 335 chassis, that E90X with the N54 and N55 motors, the billet kits that we've done with that, which we are going to bring back, guys. Don't worry for everybody that's been calling and asking about that. But we've been busy at work trying to get some of the newer stuff released also. This design, what's special about it is that it does simplify the process of the whole turbo kit, meaning there's not a lot of craziness going on with tubular manifolds. There's not a lot of twin gates and screamer pipes and open dump wastegate stuff. There's a very efficient setup with this. These kits aren't necessarily designed to be the top monster filling kits out there because that's not what we're trying to accomplish. These are for customers who even have a stock motor car or have a built motor car that want to achieve 1,000+ wheel horsepower goal in a very compact and extremely durable design. The billet manifolds are literally bulletproof. I mean, you shoot bullets at this thing, you're not putting holes in it. The twin scroll effect also with this design really spools the bigger turbos quite a bit faster. So I know a lot of you guys who were paying attention to our N54 kits when we had released them, one of the reasons why why they were so effective is because we could literally spool them as fast as upgraded twin cars and yet have greater amount of top end flow of a bigger single kit versus twins. The other beauty of going big single, as a lot of you guys have seen now, I mean, it's getting crazy out there with the amount of single kits that are available, and rightfully so, because you can see what kind of power they're making. Everybody's breaking records. They're a lot more efficient. They don't produce as much heat. There's only one turbo instead of two, and they flow quite a bit more top end power. The drawback obviously has been the bigger you go on a turbo, the more turbo lag you're going to get. But with the way technology has come and with kit designs such as the one that we're going to release, we try to minimize the amount of lag that you have so that the car can still be daily drivable but really make that monster power on the top end. So we're actually really excited to get this on our Shop M4 that we recently picked up and get to testing this kit to show you guys exactly what its potential is. We also have a billet motor mount in the works that we are finalizing right now to complement the kit with the billet manifold. One other thing I did want to note is that we will be offering two different versions of the manifold. So there is the stainless version that will be the top dollar option, obviously, but we'll also do a mild steel version that will be ceramic coated that will be more of a budget friendly manifold. Still durable, still billet, but not stainless and without the price tag. So we'll have a few different options for everybody once we get the kit on the car and get everything piped out. But we're really excited to get this on the shop car to do some testing. We'll be doing some custom tuning, obviously. I'm not sure which platform we're going with yet. We may end up doing a couple different platforms to offer custom tune options on both MHD and Boot Mod 3 for those of you who have both of those on the cars. But one of the things that we really like to do with our kits is offer a plug and play solution that already has a custom tune to match. A lot of turbo companies will throw kits out there and have at them, and then you do whatever tuning you want. This is going to be full R&D in-house, full development on our dyno. We're going to have our own custom tunes for pump gas or flex tunes, etc., with or without port reflex, or however the car is set up, to offer a bunch of different options so that you can literally buy the kit, bolt it to the car, purchase one of the tunes, flash it to the car, and be ready to drive it and enjoy it. So that really is what kind of sets us apart, along with the fact that it is a bottom mount kit. This is our preference. I know there's a lot of top mount kit guys out there. They have their place and we love them to death. It's great to have a lot of variety out there. One of the reasons why we like the bottom mount kits is they tend to be a little bit more efficient because the turbo is underneath the car, so the heat does not get trapped in the engine bay, and a lot of the hot components stay, you know, behind and beside the motor and underneath the car instead of up top, where you can have a lot of issues, especially melting valve covers, etc., things like that. And the ease of the installation. The billet kit allows you to bolt this up quite a bit easier than some of the tubular manifolds, and the durability is just there versus what a cast manifold can offer you. Obviously it does come with a price tag, so it's not going to be one of the cheapest kits out there, but for those of you that are looking for a really quality kit that's going to last hopefully the lifetime of the car, this is exactly why we're building a kit like this. The other thing you'll notice is it does have a single wastegate opening on it. So right now we're just going to typically do the Hypergate 45s that we run with the Turbo Smart. We may incorporate different designs. I know some of you have been working on the straight gate kits too, which we will look into as well. But this offers a very simple setup. There's one turbo, one wastegate, one manifold. We can do recirculated piping back into the downpipe, or we can do open dump with your preference. We're going to get into that a little bit more once we start developing the kit and show how those options work. But the beauty of it is that it's less hardware and less things to go wrong, and also a little bit less heat because you don't have all these extra components in there when you're trying to put the turbo kit on the car.
So as you guys can see, this thing is going to be an absolute ripper when we are done with it, and that is the goal for this car. Get the maintenance done, throw on the modifications that we want to throw on this car, make it look good, have fun with the car. If you guys have any suggestions of things that you would like to see on this car, maybe different wheels, maybe a gigantic wing, we are open to everything. Leave those comments down below. Nonetheless, I hope you guys are excited as we are. This is the first time that CES and I have partnered up on a build, and with the incredible work that they do over there and some of the things that I have learned over the years and just my overall design and style and taste, I think that us coming together can make a pretty unique and awesome F82 build. Anyways, as always, you guys, we appreciate the love, we appreciate the support. Make sure you subscribe, and we will see you in the next F82 build series video. Maintenance is going to happen first, modifications are going to happen last, but I can guarantee you that it is going to be entertaining the entire time. See you in the next one.